Jukic and Barnett up in the ruck. You're here on 7+. It's the Swans hosting the West Coast Eagles. First tap comes down. In there, the Swans player hand passes out. McLaughlin gets Eagles from that perfect 10-0 record we touched on at the start. Jukic and Barnett once again. Gross was playing for the free kick. And pretty content to see it out at the source. Jukic playing from in front. Gross slams on the boot at the first opportunity. First inside 50 for the Eagles. Livingston was playing from Turner, averaging 33.8 disposals in the last 5 meetings against West Coast. So arguably his favourite opposition in the WAFL. The hand pass comes out. Turner was playing for the free.
Swans players get hands to it, but it comes back to Johnson on the ground. Goes short. And he finds Barnett and has players going past. Malachi Champion through traffic, decides to go inboard.
In the early stage of this one here at Steel Blue Oval. Appreciate your company here on 7+. The two mainstay rucks go at it. Eagles have the numbers. Spun in the 360 was Barnett. Got his handball out in the nick of time. Had Davis, who went to Gross. Gross off a standing step. His kick was intercepted as well. Now Swans have territory through Hewitt. And if you're a Swan District's defender, Barnett in there. Again, it's not going to go too far. A couple of Eagles in Champion and Hall. Barnett enjoying a lot more time as a full-time ruck. He spent some time forward this season.
Live on 7+, Saturday football, the beginning of the WA Day long weekend. In front position, winning it down there was Barnett. It now is won by a little bit more dangerous so far in this game as the ball is thrown back in. Tap comes to Turner. And now a chance for Kelly. And now Shalk Bulldog slotted through his first major of the day. Barnett jostling for position with Jukic. And now Rawlinson. And now Ham make the mark, but Datsun tidies up for the Eagles. Goes one way, then the other. Goes by hand, and now clearing for the Eagles through Kerr. He's got Champion on the burst. Gets past the would-be tackler. Effort from Watson in defensive 50 kept the contest alive for Swan Districts. That would have been a certain goal.
Absolutely. Bryce Watson adapting to league footy with maturity beyond it, but also WA Day Monday coming up. Jukic continues proceedings in the ruck. Hall's going to be caught.
It's a big weekend of WAFL football, especially those two derbies, and today it's a marvellous turnout.
Sure is. McLaughlin read that really well. Wanted to try and tap it team of the year as well last year as they had a grand final run. So the ball just staying on this broadcast side. Right place, right time for Aiden Clark, who's pushed off the ball. O'Donoghue's a couple to 10.
Swan's point of view.
Sure do, and they haven't been afraid to blood youngsters this season, which hasn't been a season to remember so far, but this could be a play to remember.
Toss back into play, right on the Eagles 50. Barnett got the tap out. McLaughlin's kick partially smothered. Handball comes out. Now these one-on-ones are not his strength.
Luca Grego spending a bit more time across half-back, which was initially where he was drafted from. Reedy tried to go to Harvey. McCarthy, he's just looked really...
It's been a very good game of football so far. Very gritty, especially in these conditions, but both sides have made a good account of themselves. It gets back to the centre. There was a throw against Edwards Baldwin.
Swan Districts, the momentum has certainly been in their favour in the second quarter. Crucial stoppage coming up now as we get underway once more. Edwards Baldwin kept his footing, ducked the head, did really well. How about that? Barnett, Gross, fends off with ease. Tom Gross, he's been a shining light this year for the Eagles, and the instant reply.
He has learnt plenty, Tom Gross, since coming into the AFL side and playing a few games in the WAFL. This game's really heating up. Speaking of Gross, he gets written into the ground, but he was held onto without bar. And the Eagles really stepping up to the task against the Swan District side, who are desperate to get their second win of the season. So are the Eagles. Cotalesa.
The Swans have got a goal, though. The Eagles have been pretty quick to get one on the bounce the other way, and that's what they're going to try and do here as the ball's tapped down. Clark, Dickey lead the ball. McLaughlin also... There's nothing in it here, Paul, on 7+, which is what you love to see as we are in the middle stages of this second quarter.
Sensational game so far. Can the Eagles hit the front once more? Well, 3-1 at the moment. But so far, even Stevens. Hall throws it onto his boot in the vicinity of Datsun. Good driver in heavy traffic is Datsun, and now the Eagles will look to head it towards their half-forward line. Chipper, as he pushed in the back, umpire says play on. 4-2-26 apiece. If you're just joining us here, Much more pleasant conditions than what we'd expected here at Steel Blue Oval as Turner throws it onto his boot and in front over the West Coast Eagles. Almost 19 minutes gone in this second quarter. Clark hacks it off the ground. And now Kerr. Jukic in front position, loses out to Barnett. O'Donoghue at the coalface, working hard. McCarthy does.
Up and under footy. Barnett's down there, potentially being held. He mistimed his run, but it's going to be a push in the back for Harry Barnett. Back in the 2022 draft, a couple of senior appearances. Umpire does a bit of moving, can't sneak it in and fades to the right-hand side.
About 20 to 30 metres out from the Eagles' goal. Barnett in front. Swan Districts will be desperate to clear. Here's a chance at goal.
Break out of jail, which they do so for now.
Taylor.
The coalface is Taylor.
Taylor goes by hand. And he just had that one off hands there. What a...
Very mature player for an 18-year-old. How about the fly from Livingston? Came from about 4 or 5 deep there. Bright. After having that break, it's going to be Barnett and Jukic battling it out, and the advantage comes through Barnett. Straight down to a hole. There's going to be a whistle, though. Holding free kick. Play.
Absolutely, and Coleman now capping it off with his third goal as we get back to the centre. McLaughlin on the end of it. Quickly goes by hand to Cotalesa. He's been very...
Quarters of the Eagles that we've come to know all too often. Luke Kelly, single goals in the last 2 weeks. He continues that run. Can the Eagles get a quick reply? You look at Clark, Kelly, Turner, and they're using that far wing to the best of their abilities. Here's Cotalesa trying to break his way through. Ball thrown in once more. Jukic into the palm of Cotalesa. Again, he's stripped of it. Big boy, Luke Cotalesa. Considering still a teenager. Sparks tries to break his way through. Comes down to Cotalesa again. Clark doesn't gain a lot of metres with that ball. Players have to be... Nonetheless, they have an opportunity to close the ledger here. Barnett, McLaughlin has to be really cautious in the back half. Bananas really reaping the rewards of that are the Swans midfield.
37 to 24 in those combined hitouts, as you mentioned.
Gross now, a bit fumbly, but in the 2025 WAFL season. Barnett rips it out of the ruck. Have to be really careful here, the Eagles.
Kick to Johnston. Decides to hold it up. And laces out his teammate brilliantly on the lead, Barnett. And now the Eagles will look to string back to 7. From just inside the 50. Starts right. And it's come back! A very important... And hasn't it been a banger so far? 54 plays 41 as we're back in the centre. Both rucks miss it. Hacked off the ground. It ricocheted off Cotalesa as that ball is driven long. Bodies all over the ball. Sparks applying the tackle. In turn, his teammate in Barnett, and the Eagles will clear through Hall. But steps in it, Rothy, get us going.
As we mentioned, Swans yet to lose a game of the West Coast Eagles. In half an hour's time, we'll find out if that perfect record, co-captain, of course, in this Eagles outfit. Not the only player who's been shifted down back, along with Job Shanahan as well. Grego cause a bit of chaos in the West Coast Eagles backline. To say the next goal is vital would be an understatement. Turner, leading possession getter on
way, so a lock and change in 30 minutes of football.
Sure can. Both teams not taking a backward step. Hall, he really making the most of the Eagles pressing up. Jesse Turner did everything up until that point, apart from hit the scoreboard, and 32 disposals to match a goal now. Talk about leading from the front. A captain's
on in this quarter as Sparks kicks this one long towards centre half forward. Big fist from behind. Champion tries to storm through, dispossessed as Cotalesa. The conditions being very unpredictable. We had some morning rain, but it's held off throughout the match. Gross. Hall under pressure. Goes by 10-10 plays 6-5 if you're just logging in for the first time. We appreciate your company on 7+ as McLaughlin handballs it along the ground.
Clay Hall. He goes in the direction now of Barnett. His height is too much to match up for the Swans player there in all directions, but conventionally goes down the line. Barnett's going to have to play from behind. Did so really well. Flew late. And at full stretch, Harry Barnett providing that structure. Goes back in board to Grego. Just the required 15, you'd have to say. Hewitt was hot on his case. Grego. O'Donoghue. It's a record. I don't know if it will be broken, to be honest. Moving forward. Lucassen slams on the boot in a hurry. Shanahan Howard showed there. Not afraid to put their body on the line, which is why they've got a 28-point margin in their favour. That's out of bounds on the full, clearing the fence comfortably.
Thrown back in the West Coast Eagles forward pocket. Lovely tap out by Barnett. Presents an opportunity for Rawlinson. He overruns it. Here's Chipper. Sets it up long to the hot spot. Oh, Barnett! Is that the mark of the year? As Barnett goes long to champion and the Eagles clear from halfback.
I dare say if that doesn't feature in the top 2 or 3, then